if you try to hide behind the cardboard box, I can shoot you through that, guys. Do not hide behind the cardboard box on factory. That's just a side note, okay? If you spawn the hallway, get the hell out of there, or get ready to shoot really well, because the other team has a forklift to hide behind. You have a cardboard box, you know?
It's a real straight hallway.
Yeah, there's no cover. You literally can't go anywhere.
You want to avoid hallways and gunfights.
Leave that spot. Yeah. All right. What's good? What's good? Welcome to episode 2 of the Calzax Gaming Podcast, where we will debate, discuss, and journal our gaming experiences, as well as the latest gaming and entertainment news. Today, we will have an emphasis on the game Escape from Tarkov. My name is Caleb. You will recognize me from many of our Calzax Gaming videos, the past podcasts, and a bunch of our streams. I have a bachelor's in computer science and math, as well as game development certificate from the University of Texas. So I will try to involve my background in some of the discussions that we will have to the best of my ability. I'd like to go ahead and let my two co-hosts introduce themselves. For the full introduction, obviously go back to episode 1. They will talk more about themselves. We want to dive into the content more today, but I will let them go ahead and introduce themselves. Go ahead, Siegel. Take us off.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a fancy resume like Calzax does, but I've played a lot of video games in my time. And I like to think that I'm pretty decent at Tarkov in general. So I'm hoping that I could give my insight to anybody else who's hoping to, pick up what I know at least about it.
Thank you, Mr. Siegel and Mr. Sidu.
What it do? It's Sidu coming at you with the Tarkov podcast. I'm a big old gamer, man. I've been playing a lot of console throughout my life. Recently changed to PC, so go easy on me.
Living that Jesse Kazam lifestyle over there.
Yeah,
so it sounds like it. All right. Awesome, guys. So that's our co-host. We want to get into the content. This is the first time that we've actually streamed this. Last time we just recorded it. So I will I will re-mention. In the future, we're going to be streaming these, so always feel free to hop in on the live streams for chat. We are going to be reading chat and interacting with it as much as possible, but if you say something that's relevant, we're more likely to talk about what you said in chat. What's good, Lindenmeister, by the way? So, let us get started. I want to get started and dive into the Tarkov right away. We've got a few different things that we want to talk about. A lot of things related to Tarkov, and then later on in the stream, towards the end, we will talk about a couple other games and just side things. But let's dive into the meat, shall we, boys? It's been about a few weeks since the last podcast, and that was about a couple weeks after the wipe. So it's been about a little over a month in the wipe now, right? It's been
something like that.
Yeah, 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right, because it happened December sometime.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we've had a lot of time to kind of get used to the wipe, to the new patches that they've added. So let's go ahead and talk about some questions that I have. The first thing that I want to ask you guys, and just generally talk about, because this is a recent announcement, they have announced... They have announced plans for a factory expansion in the future, as well as a factory boss being added there. What are you guys' thoughts on that happening?
That's really exciting. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, no, it's a very recent announcement. Yeah, so happy to let you know there, Siegel. Yeah, this is a fresh reaction then, Siegel. Go ahead, let us know. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Factory is tiny right now.
Yeah.
I spawn and then run to the forklift and immediately get vogged. So, if we can get more spawns, a little bit more area to roam around in, I'm all for it, because I love labs. It's hard to get to nowadays with all the priciness of it and chattiness of it. So having a indoor PvP centered map with a boss to make the loot opportunities to go up a little bit more, that would be really cool. Because right now, you kill a couple guys with some PP bisons and a lot of scavs, and you get out of there with some press armor, and you count yourself good.
Mm-hmm.
So anything to up the little amount of loot I've been getting, that would be just fantastic. I'd be all about it.
What do you think, Sidu?
I think that'd be awesome, man. I'd like to, get into a factory game and maybe stretch my legs a little bit. You could probably sprint around the entire map of factory with one, stamina bar.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So, I would really like just the map expansion itself. I'm interested in this boss, though. How frequent is he going to be? Are we going to be seeing our first, shotgun boss? You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Who knows what they might throw in for him. Yeah, honestly. You think shotgun scouts are scary now, you just wait till they give it to a boss.
Yeah, get a Saiga with, that full, gun mag.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's
Shreds up.
just the juiciest shit. Probably just blasting Flechetti.
Okay, now I'm kind of...
Dude, I hear you. I actually didn't really think about it. That's a great point, C2. What if they do give somebody like that a shotgun? That'd be insane. It's going to be really interesting to hear more details about the boss.
Getting auto-aim, Sega has.
He's the GL40 boss.
So,
ruins
in factory, oh my god. Oh my god.
GL40 boss. You can only get the GL40
from him. So, go ahead.
That might cut out some GL40s in the game right now anyway, so that solves the issues.
We got some more, believe me, we got a lot of GL40 talk coming up. It's been a very big topic of debate recently, but I do want to say, as far as the boss, that's crazy. We got 2 bosses that are in the works, guys. We got the factory boss that's supposed to be coming, and we got Streets of Tarkov boss. To my knowledge, he's supposed to have an RPD, which will be a new LMG added to the game. Who knows what this boss will have? We'll find out. We'll keep you guys updated on what we learn. But as far as the expansion goes, I definitely agree. I think it's necessary. Obviously, factory is great right now for what it's meant for. On the first day of the wipe, this wipe, I hit level 10 in one sitting just from playing a bunch of factory and stuff like that. It's great for going out there, completing the quests you need, getting the XP. But I agree. I think it needs to be expanded. It's one of those original maps, just like Customs, just like Woods. Both of those got expanded. It's time for factory to get it. Obviously, you do want you want it to be a place where you can go in labs or something to get a quick battle, get some XP, get out. But it's a little too much right now. The spawns are just too bad. Especially for new players, you can die within 5 seconds because somebody can push over that fast. It might not even take that long. Yeah, there needs to be a little bit more time than that. So I think it's a good thing.
If you pop a painkiller right when you spawn and you're too late, and that's setting you back, that's tough. Mm-hmm. It's hard to deal with sometimes.
You do not have time to pop a painkiller. I'm being honest. I don't even. I bring my guns loaded. I never bring my guns loaded. I bring everything ready to go in case I get the forklift spawn and I have to sprint to immediately shoot down that hallway where the cardboard box is. Plus, by the way, guys, there's a spawn there. If you try to hide behind the cardboard box, I can shoot you through that, guys. Do not hide behind the cardboard box on factory. That's just a side note, okay? If you spawn in the hallway, get the hell out of there or get ready to shoot really well because the other team has a forklift to hide behind. You have a cardboard box,
It's a real straight hallway.
Yeah, there's no cover. You literally can't go anywhere.
You want to avoid hallways and gunfights.
Leave that spot. Yeah. So I think we can all agree a factory expansion is going to be. Hopefully, we'll see how it's actually implemented and executed, but I think it's necessary.
I think they'll do a good job on it.
Battlestate's map design is not ever something that I have had an issue with. I think people really like Interchange is a masterclass in my opinion. Map design, these guys know how to develop maps. So anyway, I think that's good. Good for that topic there. That's definitely what I wanted to discuss. Happy you know about that now, Siegel. And this takes us into our next topic. So you knew we were going to talk about it. We just mentioned it before. It is time to talk about the GL40. All right. Now, I've got a couple different things I want to talk about this with, but let me go ahead and start with this. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking about how I want to phrase this. So we have been seeing some dominance from 3 specific guns, okay? And we're going to talk about 2 of them in a minute. We're going to start with the GL40. But 3 specific guns, in my opinion. The Vector, the MK18, and the GL40 have been affecting this game. And I think that's not even debated. Everyone would pretty much agree with that statement, I believe. Maybe there's 1 or 2 extra guns I'm missing on that, but those are 3 important guns. And we saw things like the MK18 and GL40 be added into the March room loot pool very recently, guys. And that affected the game quite a bit, as you just saw with Willers dying to the GL40 and Labs. That was happening to people like crazy, things like that. But they actually they left it like that for about a week or two, but then they removed the GL40 from the loot pool, marked room loot pool, so that you can't get them anymore.
Real quick turnaround.
Yes. So, first off, I want to say, since they've removed it from the loot pool, it's probably harder to get. But as you saw, you literally just talked about, you were just watching Willers, he just went into Labs, just died to a GL40, and he even
Literally
himself is
seconds
talking.
ago.
Yeah, just talking about like the place of GL40s in this game and on Labs. So, my question for all of us to answer, or try to answer, what place do you think that the GL40 grenade launcher and in the future RPGs have in this game? What can they do to help them fit in well? All right, and I have an idea that I would like to explain to you guys, and then I'll let you guys answer. But my thoughts is maybe here's one idea, because obviously the GL40, the RPGs, super powerful weapons. They've got to be expensive and stuff like that, of course. But they're vastly different than a lot of the guns in the game, obviously, because grenades are just so powerful. So my thought is maybe they could do something like they could have a Grenadier loadout class, essentially where if you equip either the GL40 or in the future RPGs, things like that, it could limit what other equipment you're able to have on you. So let's say you do have the GL40 and you try to equip another primary or something. It would actually like close off your other primary slot to where you could not have another gun in that slot or something like that. Or you can only carry a certain amount of grenades on you, things like that. So there's a specific loadout class. You're limited. If you equip it, you are limited in what other equipment you're allowed to bring in. You cannot just have everything like you normally do in Tarkov. And like maybe you're saying like, oh, you could just take it off and then put your primaries on and put it in your bag. Well, let's just say if you bring in a grenade launcher, you've got to keep it equipped and just won't even let you like take it out. That's one thought for me. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. Sorry, I just wanted to explain that full idea.
Instead of like integrating a whole class system, just make it take up both primary slots. Essentially, you just
true. Yeah, that'd be the same idea. Yeah, same idea.
Just make it take both primary slots, and then you can only really bring a pistol with you. And then, like, let's just say you can't put it in your bag.
Exactly. Yes, it has to. You can't put it in your bag.
Well, like I don't know how are you gonna find these things? How are you gonna bring them out of the raid if you can't put it in your bag, though?
Well, let's just say if you find it in a raid, like let's just say bringing it in versus finding it in a raid. Maybe there's something that. Okay. Obviously, it has to be ironed out, but yeah.
It seems like a really complicated way to solve like the issue of like an overpowered weapon. I don't know. Like Panda said in the chat, most people want the GL out of the game or restricted from certain maps, such as labs or factory. I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it a different way. Like, I don't know. They made the GL and it's overpowered. And once they start changing game mechanics around it to like make it better, I don't even know why it would be in the game if you can't use it like everywhere, like every other weapon and stuff like that. Like, it feels kind of counterproductive.
I hear you. I think that's a good argument against what you're saying.
Like, I'm not T2. I've never gotten out of a raid with 2 GLs in my backpack and just made bank like that. Every time that I hear a GL on a map, I run the other direction. When I do encounter them, it's 3-4 man, all armed to the freaking teeth to protect their GL guy, and he just one shots me. So I think it goes further than like, I don't know, changing game mechanics to fit around the GL. I think they need to change the GL to like fit around game mechanics. Way nerf it somehow.
So we have 2 different paths that we talked about then. 3 different.
Yeah.
We've talked about 3 different paths. We talked about removing the GL40. We talked about and potentially removing it from labs and stuff like that. I guess that's another idea. But we've talked about adding a new loadout for the GL40. Or like changing game mechanics, and you're suggesting that they should just adjust the GL40 itself. So all of these would be viable. I think when it comes to removing the GL40, they've already taken the time to add it into the game. They've scanned it, they've modeled it, they put it in the game. They have a skill, like an RPG skill and stuff. They clearly want this in the game. And it makes sense because this is a battle simulator, and these are real weapons. So I don't see them removing this from the game. I just don't. So I think it's like, how can we make this fit into the game better? We're always going to have to answer these questions, because if they do want to add RPGs and stuff, it's going to be a question. So I think you're right. I think it has to come down to one of those other two. I think it's either change the mechanics of the GL40 itself, or change the game mechanics to fit the GL40 and RPGs to help them integrate into the game. So it's two different paths, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Now I hear you. I don't think it would be changing the game mechanics vastly to add a Grenadier loadout. I will say that. When it comes to that idea, I think a lot of other like FPS games already have loadouts, and so it's already like an understood thing. Maybe they'd have to add more onto the actual loadout creation in Tarkov to like make that more understandable. But I just don't know. I mean, I guess if you're saying, like, if Tarkov, what they're going for is you should be able to have all these different kinds of loadouts that you want, and we don't want to restrict you, then I think we have to go down the route that you're talking, Sieglem, where you have to actually change the grenade launcher to not be as effective. But if they're fine with like adding new loadouts and stuff, then I think that's reasonable.
The thing about the loadout is that like that forces this man to have a GL40 in his hands at all times. Mm-hmm. And like I'd rather him have the meta HK out there that's on his back. Like if he has any reason to switch from the GL, I'm down for it. If he's stuck with it, that means he's just gonna abuse it.
Well, like Sidu said, GL40. Well, if you buy a GL40, if you spend $400K, you're gonna there's abuse. Like you're gonna use it. You know, I'm gonna use the shit out of that thing. But like Connor said, if you could switch to a like handgun or something, or maybe maybe they just don't let you bring like full ARs or something, like smaller guns or something like that.
But Seglem also brought up a really good point by saying, like, you know, just going with a 4-man, bring in one GL, and then just surround him with fucking bodyguards. And then, like, that's pretty... I mean, like, that pretty much just, like, defeats the purpose of these, like, nerfs that we're, like, you know, talking about.
That's what they do anyways already. That's already meta. Yeah. And, like, I don't know, it wouldn't change it that much. And, like, changing mechanics of the GL, like, something like, grenades don't do as much damage, like grenades don't immediately explode, shit like that. That takes away the realism of it though. So like it's really a delicate balance.
It's a delicate. This is a hot topic right here, dude.
Like, what are they gonna do when they bring in RPGs? Right? You know,
hot
RPGs
topic.
Explode instantaneously.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, people aren't gonna be ready for the RPGs. I know that.
I think it would be very difficult to find a good balance for the mechanics of the grenade launcher in the RPG. If you do want it in the game, it's going to be really difficult to nerf those down to where they still seem like realistic, I guess, in a way. Right. So I feel like you might have to go the route of like the loadout or something to just like add some sort of negative to where it's like, all right, I've got an RPG or a GL40 and that's badass, but it's not OP as much as it used to be because now I can't wear some crazy armor, or I can't have an HK on my back as well, like something like that. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're saying.
Weight gain thing, I don't know. Make it pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Also more realistic things going out of the window. So,
maybe like make it to where you can only put the ammo on your like vest or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
know, guys. It's a really hot topic. Chat, obviously, let us know if you guys have any more ideas about that. What Pan is saying, labs is also mainly just hallways, so you have nowhere to run, such as red and violet. Yeah, it's going to have to... This is a question that's going to have to be answered over time. Obviously, they don't know the answer. We don't know the answer. It's a matter of debate. We've got multiple solutions. We'll have to see what they want to do. We're going to continue to talk about this, so please, if you're on YouTube, drop a comment. Let us know in chat what you guys think. We will touch on this again as we kind of digest it a little bit more, but this is the first time we wanted to bring it up. So that's our topic for the talk for the GL40 for now. Let's go ahead and move on. I did bring up the MK18 and the Vector, and so since the last time we put out the podcast, like literally the Vector started at like 50K this wipe. It's already up to like nearly 100 now or something. So they've really been increasing the price on that. We are starting to see a lot more of the MK18. And now that people are it's more available. I don't know if they actually removed that from the loot room pool. I think it might still be in there actually. And
Raiders
so
can have it.
Raiders can have it. Okay. But okay. So my general question first: how do you see the Vector and the MK18 in the future? What are your thoughts of how it's been with these two guns in the game, and what do you think they're going to continue to do to make sure that they fit in the game well? And also, third, side question: that's the first part of the question. How do you think that they will shape the game and have been shaping the game? MK18 and Vector. And then the other question is, do you think the MK18 will be used more often as a close to medium range weapon with like a red dot where people just try to hit one, like shotgun you, because it's one tap? Or do you think it'll be used more often as a long range weapon?
For the MK18 at least, I definitely think it's probably going to be mostly used for long range just because, like
the price.
If you're using a Vector or like a Mosin or an MK18, like I'm going to choose MK18 every time. Ammo's expensive as hell. With the Vector, the mags themselves are so expensive. Like I've seen them at like 50 grand in the market. So both these guns are really limited for early level players. Nobody's going to be getting these laser beams or these one shot monster guns. Being able to use them efficiently early levels unless you pick up the full kit from some Chad that you slain. So it's good early game because the higher geared players can afford them and they're really good against lower geared players. Like the Vector shooting like AP ammo or the 7N31, like that will shred lower level body armors and stuff like that, but actually not super good against better equipped people. So it doesn't change like the meta, I guess, of like really high level Tarkov playing. But it is frustrating to like go against earlier on, just from the sheer number of bullets they can send down range and the damage that it does to us little guys trying to quest around here. But I enjoy using them. Whenever I can get my hands on them, it's a fun time. Like I like it when they add fun guns because I don't know, it feels really satisfying to get kills with them. Unlike the GL40, which you click and you get loot. So at least there's the tiniest bit of skill. If the Vector and the MK18 are like the worst things that Battlestate does besides the GL40, then that's going in a good direction, I think.
Yeah. Man. The Lapua I think is a really good idea. I mean, like, the bullets themselves, like, 25k for a round is just like, you're buying a body. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're just directly buying a body bag. And that's cool. Like, honestly, I think that's really lit that, they have, like, this op kind of sniper that just one-shots people, right? It's, like, guaranteed you're, like, pulling out your hair if, you don't kill them in one hit. And I think that's really lit. The Vector, I think, could use some tweaking. I can't lie. Maybe to, like, the recoil, maybe. I don't know, bro. I mean, like, I haven't really handled one in real life, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how good it is.
They're they're accurate to, like, the real life version.
Yeah, no, they are.
Vectors in real life, like, how they're exhausting work. Their like pin or their like fire mechanism, it goes like through the body and down.
Yes, no,
like,
I was literally just about to say that. Siegel was right. Mm-hmm.
Recoil that way instead of like back into your shoulder like most guns, which has like a vertical kick to it. So that way, like it sends down and you're already holding it down. So like literally, it feels like it's not moving really at all. It's an impressive gun in real life. So adding in Tarkov, it's not the most unrealistic thing if it's not very recoil heavy. But
I don't know. I guess just try to make it more rare or something,
That's probably a good way to do it.
Yeah, so I guess in response to what you guys both said, I definitely hear you. I think you're right, Siegelum. I think that in the early game, it's not quite as substantial, but I think it's going to be very interesting as we continue down to the late game to see how this affects things, because now we're talking about a very different late wipe, this wipe, than last wipe, because now we have the Vector, now we have the MK18. What's it going to be like in this late wipe, how armor was already pretty not worth it like at the end of last wipe. Is it going to be even worse this wipe, So we'll see. But I agree. I think it's definitely less of an issue than the GL40. They're obviously still require some level of skill. And they're really fun. Like, I have loved the shit out of both of those guns, So I'm not complaining from that standpoint. I do think that they need to try to balance. Obviously, this game is still a beta, so they're trying to balance along the way, but it's not going to be perfect, and it's going to be something that they're going to be working on. So we're just here to talk about what we think that they should do for balancing, things like that. But yeah, they're very fun guns. I think that the pricing, like the MK18 seems priced really well to me right now. It's very expensive. The ammo is really expensive. It's just hard to get available. The Vector is so much easier to get, When it comes to getting the Vector from a trader, it's nothing, dude. It's nothing. There's got to be a bigger price difference because you hardly have to mod it too. You just throw a cheap Cobra sight on that thing or something, and it's a monster.
How to handle under under 40
recoil. It's got to be substantially more expensive than the MPX and the MP5 and stuff like that. So that way you're like have more of a reason to use those. So you're like, just go MP5 or something because it's not on the same level as a Vector. It's not even close. I'm being honest. But maybe at that point you'd be like, it's just so much cheaper, like, you know. But it's just not that kind of a decision right now when you have all these traders leveled up. Obviously, it's not available to you early wipe because you don't have on the Flea. Everything's still expensive, but they need. I think Vector's got to keep going up, personally. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how those new guns keep shaping the game. Something we'll continue to monitor. I do think GL40 is more of a question. And yeah, so let's see what else we are going to touch on here. So, yes, okay. So since the wipe happened, they wiped. There was a couple weeks. We filmed the first podcast. Since that first podcast, they've actually added quite a number of new crafts and barters. I'm going to go ahead and tell you some of the new ones that they've added. They've added a new craft for a couch backpack in the lavatory. They've added a new LEDX craft. They've added a grenade case craft. They've added circuit boards. They've updated old crafts and barters. For example, now if you want to get the AKS-74UB, the silenced, AK-74U from Prapar, the trade, it used to just be the cat statue, so it was actually a really solid trade because it was just like 28K or something. It's still a really good trade, but now it's cat statue, cigarette, and like 2 USB adapters, for example. It's still really good, but it's just like they've definitely updated some of the barters now. So I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this. Also, that's something that we've seen in relation to all this is graphics cards going nuts. Absolutely bonkers right now. They got up to $1 million. They reached $1 million. So they're literally worth more than a LEDX that is, I don't know what it's at now exactly, but like finding a graphics card is now better than finding LEDX, especially with the craft that they've added, in my opinion, given the pricing. But anyway, so let y'all talk about this new crafts and stuff, but go ahead, Stephen.
Okay, well, touching on the last thing, it's just me or is it harder to find graphics cards nowadays? I play Interchange was on my map, and that last swipe, I could run to all the tech stores, normally die, but if I did manage to get all of them, I've had runs where I've gotten 3 graphics cards all in one, and I'd say every 2 raids, every 3 raids, I would see a graphics card more. Nowadays it's every 5 or 6 raids between graphics cards. Literally my last raid I played 2 nights ago. I died in front of my inventory that I found, so that was heartbreaking.
Well, put it in your Bitcoin farm. It's fine. You'll be okay.
Yeah, right once I get to that Bitcoin.
Oh, you'll be good. C2's working there as well. You'll get there. Don't go there. Go Shoreline for LEDXs. Yeah. Well, okay, I do want to talk about what we were saying about the crafts, but to respond to what you just said, Siegel, when it comes to the graphics cards, they're really expensive, so surely they probably have adjusted the actual graphics card modifier when it comes to spawning and made it a little lower. But also, in response to what you're saying exactly, maybe you were finding more. It also depends on the point in the wipe, because every single wipe, throughout the course of the wipe, when they wipe, they drop the loot pool. They reset it, basically. They drop it down. And then as the wipe continues to go, they increase, the value of the loot spawns. So later in the wipe, you're probably going to be finding more of them. So it's hard to say. You'd have to be comparing it, right now to how you're finding graphics cards at the beginning of last wipe, pretty much, to really get a good understanding. Yeah. But anyway, what do you guys think about the new crafts? Couch backpack, LEDX, grenade case, circuit boards, and more. There's all kinds of new stuff in the hideouts.
The most actually is the Salawa craft. They changed the Salawa one, and that was my bread and butter. That's how I got all my mechs normally. Now I have to add hemostat to my Salawa creation. I just threw my whole process off. No, not really. I understand it because it's heavy bleeding, so sure, more realism. But I really like the hideout system in Tarkov. That's one of the things that sets it apart from most of the games. So any chance that you get to use it more, I'm all for. Give us options to create most things in the hideouts, please. Like, I'd love to be self-sufficient. And that could really help with people trying to do like Ironman runs and not like use traders or like no flea market or something. Like being able to do everything in your own hideout, it makes it more sustainable, funner, more varied game.
All right, I hear you. Tito, you got any comments?
Well, I've been thinking about the MK18 vector. Sorry. Like, would it be cool if they so they just like put it behind, like, you have to have somebody level 4, and then you it's only like available through like a barter with like super expensive items
For the vector.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for like one of these like guns that people say like are dummy.
Yeah. Well, let's come back to that. Let's keep talking about these crafts. We can retouch on that later because we're in a new part.
It's huge that you can craft athletics now. Honestly.
What's the crafting recipe there? That sounds interesting.
It's quite a few different things. I'd have to pull it up. I don't have it in front of me right now, so maybe chat can let us know exactly what the craft is. It's quite a few different things, but it does take like defibrillator, some ophthalmoscope, something like that. I'm not sure if the value is worth it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. 2 ophthalmoscopes, 3 magnets, 3 UHF RFID.
Yeah.
3 power banks, 2 defibrillators. So if my math's correct, that's about the cost of the legs in general.
Yeah.
That's good to have for all these quests because they're hard to find. And
Yeah.
what you did or like your hideout thing, like it gives you a chance. Like you can just drop some money on it. Found in red legs.
I think especially with the quests that they have right now, like, okay, so, also I forgot to mention at the beginning, in addition to the factory expansion that they announced, they also announced that they are starting works on the first storyline mission, I believe, was what I was hearing. So storyline, so basically right now the quests that they have, they do not intend for these to be the full quests. These are basically side quests, according to what they've mentioned. The like Kappa running tasks, those are not going to be. They're going to add an actual story, according to what they've been saying, at least. Yeah. So I think that these crafts really help make those tasks less annoying because a lot of those are like find stuff in raid. Like they added an OFZ shell craft as well. That one is huge because you used to have to find like so many. It was like 10 OFZ shells or something. And those things are impossible to find, So now you can just craft things. You have to find it in raid LEDX, things like that. You can just make them. I think that's a better option. Even if it's more expensive, at least you can just go buy all the items or whatever. Just make a LEDX and then turn it in or whatever. I think it just helps with those. Because, again, these aren't even the main quests that they're wanting to have you do. So just make them easier. They're just side quests. But, yeah. So very interesting. I think that, like you said, very good point with when people don't want to use the traders of the flea market, special runs like that. I think this just opens more doors. There's no reason not to do this. Just more options for acquiring certain objects. I think it's a good thing, and we'll continue to see what they adjust and add in terms of barters and crafts. Yeah. Cool. So, we are going to now dive into talking about. Actually, Cito, I want to let you go ahead and say what you're saying about the Vector and the MK18. Let's touch that real quick, and then we'll jump into the next thing.
Yeah, it would just be a real good idea, Battlestate, if you just decided to, put the guns such as like the Vector, MK18, which are like, I think we should really state that, or the GL40 sure thing, we should really state that these weapons are just complete weapons of mass destruction. And I think that, you maybe need to give a level 4 mechanic like, a couple LEDXs or some bullshit, just to get a hold of them.
5 LEDXs for a GL. I like it.
Maybe the Vector would be a little bit cheaper,
Yeah, just like 4.
Those buying that much AP ammo, I think really makes up for a lot of cost.
So let me confirm. You're saying that you think that they need to add the Vector, the GL40, and the MK18 and stuff to like traders?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Can't even get off the fleet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So like, just don't make them in raid. Hurry. I guess.
Where you need to have like super good relations with like these guys who can get these, extraordinary weapons.
That's an interesting thought.
That's a good idea for the GL as well, like locking it behind traders and doing stuff like that. Like having to complete the grenade launcher quest in order to do it, and that's expensive. That's a good way to do it, honestly. I like that.
I hear you. I think that's another. We'll add that idea into the mix. I think that this is something that hopefully our community can keep talking about in the comments and chat, and we can retouch on this and kind of talk about the ideas that we've had on here and see what we really like later on. But anyway, so let's go ahead and dive into the next topic, and we'll stick here for a moment because there's been a lot of conversation about this since our last podcast. We now want to talk again about netcode and Peeker's Advantage. This is a topic we talked about last time, but we have a little bit more information. There's been some more details released, things like that. So we're going to bring this up again. So let's start with Peeker's Advantage a little bit. And these are directly related. Peeker's Advantage and netcode are directly related. So over the past couple weeks since the last podcast, we have a great clip of what the desync really looks like and how it's felt from C-Doo's stream. So I'm going to go ahead and play that on stream, and we will talk about what happened. And it's just a great example of this problem that Tarkov has. Let me go ahead and start rolling now.
I've definitely experienced it between this podcast and last one too. I can verify
it's a thing for sure. We'll touch on it in just a minute. Let me roll the clip, and then we'll talk about it. So you can see C-Doo here shooting at a man right there. You see right there where the guy pauses. Hold on, I'm gonna roll it back.
I think I killed him.
So the situation is here. C-Doo is on shoreline fighting a guy near this green truck who's moving from right to left, and this guy actually came into our chat, so we'll discuss more about that. But essentially, all he's trying to do is move to the truck and hide behind the truck, and you can see what happens. As he's running from right to left, C-Doo sees him. He's running behind the truck, and he gets stuck right there. C-Doo gets an easy head tap because he's not even moving. Now, let's see where the body was. You saw where the shot happened. Where's his body? Where do you think his body's going to be? There's his body, right here, behind the truck.
Right there, chat. Right there.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And this guy came into our chat because he was so confused about what happened. That's what happened from our side. C-Doo just sees him stand still and takes the shot, easy money. That is not at all where C-Doo shot him. So where he died behind the truck is exactly where he was on his screen. He came into our chat and he told us, hey, what happened? I was behind the truck and I literally just died sitting behind the truck. Well, no, on our screen, you were standing in place and we shot you in the head over the side of the truck, and then it updated and still even put you behind the truck after you died. So yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, guys. You've seen it now. Like, that is the problem that Tarkov really has when it comes to this netcode and Peeker's Advantage. This happens so often. Like, when people... What exactly just happened there where the guy froze? When you're trying to peek a doorway or something and you just get... And you peek out and then you go back behind cover and you die there, it's because what you just saw happened to you. Because you just got frozen in place, they shot you in the head on their screen, and then you died behind the cover on your screen.
Yeah. This happening in Call of Duty is frustrating. I don't know, you might yell fuck or something and just, get on with your life, respawn and keep going. But, this sort of thing happening in Tarkov when you have your own loot on the line, all the shit you worked so hard for, it hurts differently. Instead of saying fuck, I go and, I don't know, I've done push-ups just out of anger after shit like that. Just something to get my mind off of this game. I love this game, most things about it, maybe not GL. But stuff like that is really, it feels a lot worse in Tarkov than other games, how it could affect you from it.
Absolutely.
That should change, and Peeker's Advantage type thing, where you're holding an angle and they peek you and kill you immediately.
They have more time. We talked about that last time.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist in real life. I think the person
in
these areas
is going to have the advantage, yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that like Battlestate even put this guy behind the truck after he died, like, oh yeah, you're right, my bad. I don't know, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Sad. I feel bad.
Well, I'll let you talk too, CD, but what I want to say, this clip, like what it literally showed is exactly what I was talking about last time. On your side, or like, okay, on his side, the guy that we killed in that clip, and he came into our chat and literally told us what he saw. He saw complete movement. He saw him running from right to left behind the truck, never saw anything else, and he just died behind the truck. On our screen, we did not see that. We saw him lagging. So the server seems to be waiting for a response from the client. So there's some disconnect between the server and the other guy that was running behind the cover. There's some disconnect between his client and the server there, in my opinion. So instead of lagging on his screen, though, because of the way the netcode's set up, you only lag on the server. Generally, in other FPS games, if you lag, you're seeing it on your screen. But other people maybe just see you like running forward, right? You're not stuck in place. Like the server is just like having you like the server controls your position. But in this game, you can't even tell you're lagging on your screen. The server is the one that really sees it, and that's why I'm saying I think this game is client authoritative in nature. And I know we got some comments about that last time in the last podcast clip that we put out about it, but that's a better explanation of what I was trying to say this whole time, is that the server really does see the lag. Everybody else sees it. You don't see it. And it's a big problem when that happens. So since we talked about it last time, though, there has been a lot more conversation about it. And so other streamers like Markstrom, One Peg, and Tweak have addressed this. They put out videos about it. Even Nikita has addressed it because of the talk that was happening since our last podcast. Literally all this has happened. And he addressed it, was basically like, I mean, obviously you could go check out the clip if you guys are interested in seeing exactly what he said. But he was basically like, guys, we're working on it. He said that it's already come a long way from where it used to be. And that, of course, that they're still working on it. It's something that they care about. And then One Peg's like response to that was like, great, but it's still not where it needs to be. Like just because you're saying you've made improvements, which is true, and they have made improvements since the old times, doesn't mean it's where it needs to be and that it's good. And so yeah, Nikita's right. They have made improvements, but they've got a long ways to go, as shown by the clip. It's a problem in an FPS game like this, especially when they mean for this game. If they want to put out EFT Arena and stuff like that, you can't be having issues like this on EFT Arena, And if they're going to fix it for a game like that, maybe they could translate it over to this game. So we'll continue to see. It's just a really interesting topic. CD, what thoughts do you have?
Man, I mean, well, let's take a look at it from the other side. So, like, we just saw a clip of a guy whose, PC obviously wasn't having a very good connection with Tarkov servers, right? Like, essentially. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then, like, let's look at it from the other side. So, like, let me say it. So the scene. It was like 4 of us were doing like a Kiba run on Interchange, and like we go in and we're like fighting a guy in Holy Office, and like here's all this guy's doing, man. He knows he has a really good connection with these servers, dude. And so he just had like this RFB, and he would just like just keep over and over and over, and that's the only way he was fighting. It was like crazy. Like you would be shooting shots, like I you know what I mean? I'd be swearing like I was hitting him. But apparently, no shots landed. He was just straight, Houdini, like everything, because he was just like, just straight up, like,
super
taking advantage of the features of the end. Just crazy.
That's what they teach you in boot camp,
Yeah.
Just over and over.
Dude, over. It was with like WS or whatever. He was like moving, like over here, over there.
Yeah, it wasn't like leaning. He was literally stepping out. Yeah.
Shots were like counting, you know what I mean? Because we weren't moving like he was.
Yeah.
So he shoots a shot whenever he comes all the way over here to the corner. Then like he's already gone behind the wall, like right whenever his shot goes off. Like it's crazy.
I guess Battlestate has actually made a fix for that. Just like what we want. If you had a GL, you would have gotten.
That was their solution. I see. Why write more code when we could just add a metal gun?
Why write out the solutions.
Oh my god.
I get it now. I get what you do.
Damn.
I don't know. I just I'm not hating on Battlestate. I obviously love Tarkov. I just think that this is a significant problem, and obviously there's a lot of like buzz going on about this topic right now. So I definitely thought it was something we should address again. We can continue to talk about this, guys. At this point, guys, I'm getting to the point where I might even put out a full video about this on YouTube about the netcode to like better explain what we're experiencing and like basically to catalog what everybody's been talking about when it comes to netcode. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in chat. Let me know in comments. We will get you some more clips about the netcode because you guys really do seem interested in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no hate. It's Battlestate.
Yeah, for sure.
In their game, an unhealthy amount of time of the day.
For sure.
And that just means that you run into more GLs and more peakers like this. So, like, these things that happen, they're frustrating. They don't happen every match, which is good. Tarkov's still real fun.
Well, and from the programming side of things, this game is very. It has a lot of things that it's trying to accomplish. It's lofty. It's a lofty idea, and netcode and multiplayer programming is one of the hardest things that you can try to do in game development. Like, because there's just so much simultaneously going on that you have to account for. It's really difficult to get right. It's a lot easier. You have to account for a lot less in a single player game when it comes to these sort of conditions. And so maybe they just didn't have the best infrastructure for building the netcode at the beginning when they put the idea into practice. But hopefully they will continue to update it. They're going to have to change some fundamental parts of the netcode here, I think, to get it to where they want to be. And like I said, because they're doing EFT Arena, I think that does make it more important that they fix this, and probably more likely that they will put even more time into fixing it. Because, like I said, you can't have these problems in a competitive shooter like that. Like, if this was happening in CSGO, are you kidding me? You know, like,
Oh my god.
Yeah. So hopefully they fix it in Arena and like translate it back over to Tarkov or something, but we'll find out.
If you just play offline mode.
Offline mode only, yeah. Yeah, just get drop shot by raiders or constantly, it'd be fun. And scavs.
New issues.
So I think that's what we have to say about netcode and Peaker's Advantage for now. We would love to retouch on this topic. It's going to be it's just always on the mind when it comes to Tarkov until they get this into a better place. So now now that we've talked about a lot of different updates and things going on in the game since the last podcast. But now I really want to talk to you guys and talk about our experiences with the game, rather than just the general topics that everybody's talking about and everything. I want to ask you guys some more personal questions when it comes to your raids experience. So what has been, I think you mentioned it a little bit more before, Sieglin, but what has been your most significant roadblocks since the last episode been? It can be a quest, hideout station, or something else for everybody here. What's been the roadblock?
I'm just a poor little cryptocurrency nerd trying to make his own Bitcoin farm, and all the challenges including that are intense. Last time I was really bad about doing quests and playing the game the right way. I just killing people. So I didn't even make it until I was level 30 or whatever. And at that point, I could do therapist quests to get the thick case, get 10 mil, and just upgrade everything immediately. And it was really kind of a quick process. But trying to get the whole thing done from level 1 all the way up to I'm level 23 right now. I just don't have enough money to get all the things. I don't have enough money to be Linux qualifications to get up to Intelligence Center level 2 to get the Bitcoin farm. That's a lot. Bitcoin or graphics cards, their prices are through the roof. So even when I do get it, I'm sure I'm gonna have one in there for the longest time. But I don't know. I'm just trying to reach my self-sustaining Tarkov area to where I can go out and play labs and bring my HKs into the game. I love questing, don't get me wrong, but my heart really lies in PvP and getting some good gear to go do that. So right now that's the roadblock. And also getting my tracksuit.
Oh yes, I hear you. Oh yeah, are you going for that? Are you going for tracksuit?
That's great. Like, that's what I want instead of Kappa.
Dude, tracksuit? Oh, man. Hey, chat, we need to get Seagram to film some of this, huh? Give us some recordings of 100 kills. Compilation. That'd be lit. Like, just save the highlight or something when you're...
1 kilo ratio.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to be a long process. Just 400 grades at that point. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, just grind them out, man. That's all I can say. And in response to what you're saying, too, I think if you want to go that PvP route, like you're saying, and don't want to do the questing, that's totally understandable. If you want that passive income, get that hideout done, bud. Like, it's gonna keep you... As soon as you get the Bitcoin farm, you literally get 500K plus every single day. Like, with one graphics card in it, so...
Especially at Bitcoin prices right now.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm making so much money off mine. Like, it took time to get there. I just shoreline money ran it until I got there, honestly, because, yeah. I definitely understand that as well. Sidu, I think you might be dealing with a similar situation over there, but what's your roadblock?
Brother in arms, he knows what they...
Yeah, man. It's definitely daunting, thing that you need to get into Zone 2, and then it's like, wow, I have to spend like $3.5 million for just to upgrade my stash, just so I can upgrade this other thing, just so I can upgrade this other thing that upgrades, intelligence level 2, and then that's just like a third of what I need to do for it. And so it's a little daunting. But I will say, man, I recently got the beta case, upgrade the gamma or whatever, or not the gamma, the alpha. Wow, it's crazy having a little bit more space in your cavity right there.
Right?
A little extra prison wallet space.
I've been mixed for this whole time.
I know you've been trying to do Punisher as well, so you do. It's been another...
Yeah. I've been doing...
Part 2, right? Or 3? 3, right?
I think part 3. Trying to kill scabbies and AKs before you customs.
Yeah, there's a lot of scabs. That's not one of the harder ones of the Punisher, but it just takes some time, because there's a lot of scabs, honestly.
Yeah, it's a number.
Especially when you're running with groups most of the time, too. Like, it's a lot easier to get those scab kills as a solo, I promise you. Like, yeah. But I definitely hear you guys. Get that Bitcoin farm. Get you some money, boys. You'll get there. That's how it goes. Put that graphics card into the Bitcoin farm. I have gotten there myself. I think for me, now that I've got that, the Roadblock has not been money anymore. I'm up to like 4 mil or something now. I've got almost my hideout completely maxed out. I'm very close. What am I missing? I'm missing the scav case. I think I'm just missing the scav case, and that's it, actually. Yeah.
As beneficial as that, get some red key cards out of it. That'd be helpful.
Oh yeah, that would. Oh god, that'd be very nice. I sure as hell can't find them in game. So, yes. Anything you get out of scav case is found in raid. So that hasn't been a roadblock for me anymore. But my most problematic thing for me lately has probably been, honestly, I haven't really had a roadblock. I think Shooterborn in Heaven is now... Nothing's like really stopped me too much. I would say finding a LEDX. That's what it is. Finding a LEDX. I found a LEDX my first shoreline run this wipe or something like that. And I haven't been able to fucking find one since, dude. Like, I need one. All I need is a found and raid LEDX to give to Therapist, and she will literally give me a thick case. Like, I'm on that quest. Yeah. So the next LEDX I have is worth like 15 mil or something, like, I can't find one though, dude. I need to go and run it and I'll get it, it's just a matter of like doing it. I just got a little bored of the money runs after trying to get that hideout to where I was at. So we'll get it eventually, but that's my roadblock.
Opportunity to do the hideout like crafting thing for it.
I will say you're right. Yeah, I probably should just put the money into it, honestly, because like it's...
having extra spending on that.
You're right. I might need to get to crafted. I don't know what I'm doing here, chat. But that's my roadblock. And then Shooterborn in Heaven is probably going to be the next one. Haven't really focused on it yet, but we're getting there.
That's quite the roadblock, though. Like, those shots, from what I can see from your stream highlights, you just need like a MP133 and some AP.
Yeah, actually, those do generally work out for me. A red dot and it's a grizzly slug. And then we'll be fine. Maybe that's what I should start running. Oh my god.
One thing I think what could help is if they added a Dogecoin farm.
Oh, Dogecoin farm, yes.
Something a little bit, less. You can get like the lesser tiered graphics cards. You don't need too big of a rig to do it. Make about 100 rubles a day. It could be nice.
Dude, Lennon, congrats, man. Private clinic in 2 raids, best feeling ever, I'm sure, man. That's a good feeling. 2 raids, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think that's the quest, huh, for the thick. Or
Lennon with you when you raise the
mm-hmm. Apparently so.
He's the man to bring.
I think Lynn's been having some luck correctly. I think he's been pulling the Tetraside.
Yeah, Tetrises have been everywhere. I feel like Tetrises are like all over the place right now. Like honestly, I'd be finding those things. At least I play a lot of interchange, and those things are spawn, bro. Just Rasmussen Texo Tech Light, boom. Rasmussen Texo Tech Light, boom. Tetrises, GPUs. Man.
To get something nice, I down to a 4-man or 5-man. I just can't really. Yeah, that's another roadblock. Yeah, you want to tell us about your little. So Sieglum here is mostly a solo. Sudo and I come from the. I do a little bit of both, but I'd say I'm mostly squad nowadays. Sidu is mostly squad. Sieglum is mostly solo. So that's going to be. It's kind of an interesting dynamic, different type of game. Yeah, it definitely is frustrating at times. Killing 4 people and then looking around for whoever you missed, not finding him, laying down on a body and then getting fogged by their 5th guy who's been hiding in a corner. That's the kind of thing that you deal with on a daily basis as a solo. But when you do get the highlight clips, it's very satisfying. Just make sure you bring a big enough backpack into the raid.
Yes. Well, and in response to those things that you're saying, first thing I'd like to say in response to that is, I like to go by the quote, and this is my quote: "You are limited. The amount of money you can make is limited by the backpack you bring." So, if you only bring a little tea bag, you ain't gonna be making much money. But if you bring a tri-zip, sure they're expensive, but you can put a lot of stuff in there. If you live, you're gonna come out with a lot of loot, most likely.
Make it worth it.
So,
you're dying every raid, one raid you survive.
Especially if you're a solo player, if you're gonna be wanting to make some actual money. Put the money into the bags. It is worth it. But yes.
From the podcast. Bring a backpack.
Yeah. Bring a backpack, guys. Bring a good backpack. But we were also talking about what you said before stream, too. And that was what I was, saying to that was like, it's so interesting what about, when it comes to Tarkov because of how different the dynamic is, right? Because it's like this game is starting to get a lot bigger and a lot bigger. But it's like on one side of things, you have these solo players and these solo streamers who are like codding out the game, super soldier style, go in there, take everybody out, landmarking it, Punisher tournament style solo players. And then on the whole other side of things, you have this like squad based side of things where it's just it's vastly different. Yeah. And I think I've heard in the past that Nikita has been saying like Tarkov was literally intended to be a squad game. It wasn't intended to, So when it comes to those 5-mans and stuff killing you, given the current rules of the game, that's just kind of life, and you gotta hope you can get lucky and take them all down. But I hear you, they just camped that last body. All I can tell you is keep studying what Landmark does and stuff, and figure out how he deals with that, because that's not it's definitely a question.
Landmark.
That guy was my gaming hero.
Yeah.
These little Timmies anyway. But I mean, another realism factor, and that's what we're thinking about.
It's just so cool how like different the dynamic is, though. Like I don't really know many games that are like this, where they have like literally the solo, and then they have like a full-on squad play, and you can go either way that you want.
At the same place, same time, and just let them have at it. That realism factor, that's another thing I like about Tarkov. Like, it's actually realistic to make it difficult to kill 5 people compared to just 1. So. Well,
and it's but you also have advantages as a solo too. Like, you're gonna be able to hear way better.
Everyone's your enemy,
so. You don't have to worry. Like, you're not holding your fire. You can hear way better because you have no one to communicate with. So your comms are completely open. Because as soon as you like get in an encounter, if you're talking to a squad, they're going to be in their comms like, "There's a dude over here. He's to the right. Oh, where is he? Oh, he's by that rock, by that tree. What direction? Oh, like pulls out compass to the west. You're just taking shots. You're solo. You ain't got any concerns. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic.
Operation is to kind of go splinter cell type thing.
Yeah.
If I can infiltrate, literally get in the middle of them, like.
Yes, I've seen that.
Are invading or checking out the tech store right now. Wait, there's 6 of us. What? And then just headshot as many as I can.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
you always see those clips popping up on Twitter and stuff from time to time. It's like, all right, we did it, man. We infiltrated. They go in, they infiltrate like a 5-man and just like headshot 3 or 4 of them, and like after walking around for a bit. Yeah, it's always crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I remember. We were like fighting Killa or something, and that he was in there looting. And he was like, "Is this not you guys?" And then they shot him because they didn't kill him. Yeah, we were also a group of 4 or 5 in the other room. He just kind of like wandered off. Yeah.
I was literally losing.
Yeah, it was a crazy situation. But stream and YouTube and chat, I do want to remind you guys, we do have a Discord. As you can see, we have all these social medias, but our Discord is really growing. If you're in Twitch, _ Discord in the chat, or check the description down below. We would love to have you join. Over 100 members in the Discord. A lot of gamers. We have an active voice channels up in there basically 24/7 at this point, all the time. And so yeah, you guys should definitely hop in there. We just yesterday had our first Discord event. We're going to be doing tons more. We had Squad Sunday yesterday. We're going to be doing more events just like that. We're going to be doing Squad Sunday weekly, trying to get as many people. You can literally have up to 100 people in Squad, the game Squad. We're probably going to be playing some Tarkov events, things like that. So if you guys are interested in getting in and being a part of the community, please do. We would love to have you. We have a lot planned. It's all in the Discord. Come through, guys. With that said, I do want to talk a little bit about you, Sea-Doo, I want to just briefly talk about some Squad real quick. And in the Squad Sunday event.
Time playing on Squad Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me and Calzax playing, but it was a real good time, man. And I can only imagine how better it would be with hell people,
Mm-hmm. Well, and obviously in Squad, you can have squad sizes up to 9, teams up to 50, and servers up to 100. So massive gameplay. To actually be able to choose all the loadouts in a squad, you have to have enough people to unlock each loadout. So if you only have 2 people in your squad, you're not going to be able to choose many different choices. But if you have got 6 to 8 people in your squad, you can choose marksman, anti-tank, grenadier, engineer, combat, or medic, leader, crewman, pilot. It goes on and on, So, yeah. So, like I said, guys, hop in that Discord. We want to get as big of squads as possible. We're going to have so much fun. But I do want to talk about something that's really interesting to me about Squad, and that is just the vast amount of ways you can play the game, right? When somebody thinks of Squad, if you know the Squad game, we have videos up about this game, so if you don't know much about it, please check that out. Squad the game. When people think about it, it is an FPS game, and you think about maybe something like Battlefield or something like that, right? But you can choose to go the infantry route and play your general FPS, but you don't have to. You can literally never fire a rifle. You can choose an unarmed class if you want, and you could just drive the Logi trucks, which are what resupply all the bases, fire mortars, be a mortar team, and then you could just build defensible fobs, which fobs are the bases that you spawn at. You can literally put sandbags, barbed wire, turrets, mortars, all kinds of stuff. Somebody has to build all these. It's literally like Warfare Minecraft or something. And all of these things are necessary to lead your team to victory, because if your base runs out of ammo and you're not your main base, you have a main base and you have these little fobs. If those things run out of ammo or supplies, construction supplies, things like that, people spawning in there are low-key screwed because you hardly spawn with any of your supplies. And so somebody's got to keep the soldiers resupplied. I can tell you without a doubt, the mortars are deadly. You get a mortar strike on your location, it is so tough, dude. So it is very important to have a mortar team that knows what they're doing. And obviously, if somebody's building the fobs in the middle of a valley with no cover around them, you're easily going to lose that fob. You got to put them in defensible locations. But none of this relates to shooting a gun. It's just crazy.
It really is wild. I mean, like me and Calzax, we were playing game of squad, and I mean, we didn't have like any sort of commands really, so, but we just, know that we needed to put down some spawn points, so we really just like beefed the hell out of our infrastructure. Like, it was crazy. Like, we just like put up like 3 halves, you know what I mean? Like, we had like all these different spawn points on the map, you know what I mean? And they're all well supplied for like plenty of spawning and shit. And like, what do you know? We like, whenever me and Calzax finally enter combat, we start taking some people out, and then the war's won, like right there.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Like all that pressure that we put.
Oh yeah, and like if they had started pushing, we marched in that battle. We put our defensible fobs down. We had like a line of, we had our main base, then we probably had like 6 fobs past that, and that was just leading to the middle of the map. From there, it's like where the front line, and then it's like a tug of war. It's like who can push further. We actually started pushing into their defenses, so it didn't really matter as much. But let's say they beat us on the front line and start pushing us back. We had so much to fall back to.
Yeah. That's the big point.
Yeah. And so
like, if they take out your spawn point, then like, what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
That's why you have to set up like a whole bunch of maps. If you want to like really have a good chance of just destroying the other team.
And I guess this is basically the question. I was going to ask specifically, how effective do you think good mortaring and defensive fobs are to help win? So I guess we talked about how important defensive fobs are. I guess you want to touch on some of the mortaring and stuff too, and how important they are.
I've been on both ends of the mortars in the actual game, and like, let me tell you, whenever it's coming down on you, it ain't pretty, man, and it's loud, and it sounds like they're shooting like a million of them things, man. And but whenever you're just over here, like, a mile away, just like it was crazy. Like they just had to get like a location on the map. They like figure out like. Like we have the squad over here fighting on the front lines, and they're like, "Hey, the enemy spawn point's like right here," and they mark it on the map. And then like the guys from the mortars will just like the guy telling them where to aim them at will just be like direction 93, longitude 1148, and then you just start fire 3 of them things. And then, like, you just start hearing them go, like, "Oh, that's crazy, good hits." Like,
yeah, mortars are insane. I agree, but you got to be careful too, because like you can easily just start mortaring. You can't tell where the from your side when you're mortaring. You put the thing in there and you aim it, and then it goes off, and you have no clue what actually happened. So like you can easily just be bombing the shit out of your own guys, and like there's also, yeah, it does.
These mortars sound like something that used to be out of the Tarkov.
Dude, they're great. And plus, you can have smoke mortars, too. You can put smoke in the mortars and then start mortaring your own team, but it's literally, or whatever, but it just puts smoke on the ground. It doesn't explode.
You can't hit anybody in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, so some people got to go down. Risk and reward, right? Yeah, helmets, it'll be good. But very interesting game, and then I like to touch on what Lennon's been doing. Another thing like that you could like literally to how many play styles you can have in this game. Combat medic, for example, you can like of course if you're a combat medic, you're gonna have to still shoot a gun and stuff from time to time. But like literally, you'll go into a battle or something, come up from behind as medic, and you'll just see like your team decimated at times. You see like 10 people that need reviving. You're like, oh my god, and you just start crawling around like bandaging up everybody, and it's just like so necessary to have somebody who heals your guys up and stuff. None of this relates to the FPS, so it's just like if you guys want to get involved in like helping out a battle, playing in FPS games, but maybe the FPS part of it's not your most interested part. You want to play a chess match of sorts, just a really interesting strategic battle. Definitely check it out and maybe try something like that. Logi trucks, mortars, defensive fobs, medic, things like that. If you love the FPS side of things, you can still absolutely do that. You can go in with an AR. You can go with automatic machine gun. You can go grenadier. You can go tanks. I mean, tanks are a whole other side of things. I didn't even mention that. You can just drive tanks around, and those things are so effective. And like somebody's got to drive the tank, like. So anyway, yeah, it's just insane. It's just insane.
Tank, man, like whoever's getting those kills on tank, like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You have like a spotter, you have a
mm-hmm.
and then you have like a guy manning the gun. Like, oh man.
Well, and it
really just a big old teamwork effort.
Absolutely. And in general, I would say like the first step is spotting people in that game. Binoculars, I have binoculars out about half the damn game. Like, honestly. Because I usually don't have a scope on my gun, and it's impossible. Like, I just sitting there like, where are these dudes at? You know, and then I'll call out to my squad leader to mark them and stuff. But, yeah. Crazy stuff. I literally love that game. We're going to be talking more about it. Obviously, join the Discord Squad Sundays. We're going to be getting some big battles going on. And so we're kind of getting towards the end of the podcast here. Just a couple more things I do want to touch on. I want to ask you guys, going back to Tarkov, tell me about your best raid in the past. What's Tarkov? Who are we? Who are you guys? What's your best raid in the past since, 2 or 3 weeks since the last podcast? I'll give you some time to think, and I will talk about one of mine. Sea-Doo and I had a really solid one earlier, and that's actually up on YouTube from Sea-Doo's perspective. That was an awesome raid. It was like this cottages shootout, and I had a VSS with a sniper rifle, like a sniper scope on it, and I could not hit anything. The VSS, the bullets just travel so weirdly, but it's suppressed and everything. So basically what I was doing is we had these guys in the woods, in the forest that we were like, seeing and shooting at and stuff, and I was just repositioning like crazy, but I could never hit these guys. So, and obviously the VSS it goes fully auto, but it's semi-auto as well. So I was just sending suppressed semi-auto shots all over these guys. Like, they were just being shot at. They had no clue where I was ever. So they're just running around like frantically hiding, but I can't ever kill these guys. And then I had Sea-Doo like repositioning, and he was the one that was actually taking people out with his Viper Hunter, putting a little M61 in them. It was just a really fun raid. So I was just basically like herding these people to Sea-Doo. I'd be like, Sea-Doo, get up on this rock, and I'll shoot them towards you, and I'll reflank, and I was just pushing them towards Sea-Doo. And they ended up getting in a fight in the house. I'll let them finish talk about that. But the other good raid I had was against. It was also while I was away from my rig, so it's not on film. But I was on my laptop, and the game bugged out, and I couldn't spawn in. It was at deploying, and it hit 0. Oh, another thing also that we'll talk about maybe more next episode or something, the RAM. There seems to be a RAM problem in Tarkov right now. But that's neither here nor there. We'll get more into it. Yes, something like that, dude. Like, because Sea-Doo's having a problem with it. On my laptop, I've been having a problem with it. It literally would hit deploy 0, and it wouldn't do anything. So I had to restart my game, reopen it. Don't know what's going on with memory. Maybe we can look into that and talk about it more next podcast. But I do think it's something. But either way, so I load into this raid a little bit late, probably like 15 minutes late, because I had to, restart my computer and everything. And then I asked my team, like, okay, where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? They're like, oh, we're over at the gas station. So I start running over to New Gas. And then they're like getting a shootout. And then they both go down. I'm like, oh my God. And they like, a scav killed me. And I was like, oh no. And then I go over there. And of course, it's Rashalo and the boys. Cleaned them out. Got a labs key card, got a Bitcoin. Clean, tons of different weapons. I mean, if you kill Rashal and the boys, that's just how it is. Just had them all to myself, man. It's always a good time. 14,000 XP. Great, solid raid. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to labs later this week, man. I love labs, besides the GL40. So, what about you guys? Sea-Doo, I think I described possibly one of yours, but maybe you can give us the other perspective or something else.
I was thinking about that one, definitely. That was definitely the one I got my most, PvP kills in one raid. But, dude, I think, whenever me and Calzax went, sniper duo on a shoreline once again, but this time we were, messing around.
I had an RFB. I remember this one. I could kill people this time.
A pre-stream warm-up game. We're just messing around.
Yes.
I was just going to bring in a sniper. He's going to bring in a sniper. We're going to see what we can do. Thinking we end up if I remember correctly, Calzax saw that there were people over that big old spine kind of near power station, that big old spine of rocks between power station and cottages and shit. So there's a lot of action over there. So Calzax starts advancing, and he tells me to hang back, and so he goes over there. He gets one guy, and I'm still 60 meters away from him, holding position, and then some random person comes up on me, I gun him down, a frantic Viper Hunter spammage,
I know.
The point fire.
The floor with M61s, and thinking, So I'm just like seeing like across this valley, essentially over on the other side, seeing Calzax, and he's just like working his way up, and he's just like he kills a guy, I think, and then he's just like shooting at this other guy. So, but like to get away from Calzax, the other guy gets on my side of the big spine of rock. So I have like real good, you know what I'm saying? And so I just start pumping him in him, and then what's it called? Like the very last shot I could have taken because he was like going back down on the other side. Like gets him, he falls in a bush or some shit. You know, we'll find out later on after we killed like 3 other guys or some shit. And then somehow we make it out of the raid at the end. Like
it was insane. I was so upset that we didn't have that one on film. It was crazy. We both had like 3 or 4 PMC kills. It was crazy. It was a very similar situation to what I was talking about before when I said I had the VSS, but this time I brought an RFB. So I hit my shots. M61 with like literally a voodoo scope and M61. So like it was just Sea-Doo and I just assaulting these men from long range, and then people kept running up onto us in the bushes though. Like we would be just sniping it really far off, and we just hear footsteps up near us, and then yeah. It was a really lit time. Good call, Sieg. I totally forgot about that. I'm so upset we didn't have that one on film. All right, Sieg, what you got?
Something about, sniping with
yeah.
Sniper duo or action or something.
They all seem to be working well off each other. It seems like all these highlights are off a good team play, so it's something I'm missing out on.
Well, we have a Discord, Siegelman. I don't know if you knew about that, but we do. We have all these squad channels up in there, and just looking for group channel.
Most of the Tarkov voice channels are normally full of gamers.
No, they are. So I've heard.
Look into the one that it seems like it's pretty popular.
I do, yes.
Information being posted in all the chats, and a lot of cool people be playing the game together.
I think so, but despite all these great things that you have available, you choose to play solo, so let's hear about it. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you.
Discord, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Siegelman was a busy man, guys. He's in college.
Yeah.
College.
And most of the time it's on interchange, just because I'm going for graphics cards mostly. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, it's worth it nowadays.
Yeah, right. So
God damn.
Graphics cards, and so I have a. What do I have? I had like a MPX, I believe. No vector for me because those clips are so expensive. But I had an MPX. I go into the Ollie garage entrance, go up the stairs, and go to the first Rasmussen, with the wood floors next to Ollie, right at the base of the escalator to go up to Tech Light. And I start looting, and I hear this group of sprinters running at me from front mall. That kind of hallway. So I just kind of wait and see what happens. They peek the side. Turns out it's 3 pistol wings, and I just kind of put them out of their misery real quick. And so that's 3 PFC kills. I don't really care about. They have nothing. And I start looting them, and then I start taking shots from the furniture store across the way from the tech shop. I engage them. Turns out there's 2 people, and I take a lot of damage. I'm probably about to die if they push me, so I can't see shit. There's blood on my screen, my vision's blurry, all that. So I heave a desperate nade, and I kill 2 of them with 1 nade. And I heal up. I go to the shop in front mall to lay down and heal up, and then I go over to loot them. Get some hella nice loot, M61, NVR.
Yep. Oh, I've been running that game. I love that gun. I love it so much.
Yeah. One guy had that, another guy had an RFB, both M61, so that was a good find. And then while I was leading the second guy, the dude comes out of the secret entrance to Goshen, with secret staircase and stuff. Then he walks up on me and tries to shoot me. And luckily, I get him before he gets me. I think that was their 3rd guy that I didn't even know about, because I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. I should have checked first, but my 3 loot guys just went over there.
That's how it goes.
And so I kill him, and I get the shit. So at this point, I have a killer armor, fast MT, all this good gear, so many nades. just your average Chad White type stuff. And then I go up the stairs to Tech White and fight another person who had gotten into the Intercom thing, the Ultra Medical Cabinet, and killed him, and then found a graphic.
Wow.
Up in Tech White.
Jesus Christ.
From got some shit that raid, and I think 7 PMC kills. So I don't know, that was a nice time. That's one of the few those moments made me keep playing solo. Just being able to do shit like that.
All right, Sieglum, gotta reactivate that Gabe and Twitter account. We need you to screenshot these after raid things at the very least. Post them so we can see the 9 PMC's kills if you have that little screenshot. Yeah. It's got to be seen. Got to let the Calzax TV retweet that shit, man. No, that's crazy. And yeah, like you say, Interchange is just is a great place to be right now because those graphics cards being a mill. God damn, you can find them in Texo, you can find them in Rasmussen, you can find them in TechLight, you can find them in any of the computers that are all over. The computers all over that place. It's like insane. Yeah, and you don't need keys for any of them. That's the other thing.
Yeah, Idea Office and in the little tiny tech store right next to Intercom Medical Room, the metal floor place.
Mm-hmm.
You can find them in there. I've found them in there before. So you just walk by it normally. A lot of people do.
Now, I will say the problem right now with Interchange for me is that I have not been able to buy that 11 SR key card or whatever to go out through the the safe exit or whatever. I forget what it's called. Yeah, because dude, Intercom is just rough, bro. Yeah, Intercom is if you have Railway, it's cool for the most part, but Intercom is probably the least my least favorite place to go. I just hate going there, man. I always feel like I'm gonna die, and I usually have loot when I'm going there.
I'm out of energy. I gotta crawl half the way. It's absolutely wide open. It's some stressful moments out there.
Pando, we could definitely talk about what you're saying. Please expand upon what you mean though by that. So I hear you guys. I do want to say this too. Sorry, my cat just got on the table here. Obviously, we had a big focus on Tarkov in the stream or in this podcast so far, but we're a gaming community. We have all kinds of games that we play. So if you guys are interested in seeing, we had a Calzax 2K tournament recently. It's up on our YouTube. We're going to post the finals very, very soon. That is the only part that's missing. So there's about 3 episodes that are up on YouTube. Check that out if you guys are interested in NBA 2K. But as well, I did want to talk about, what is that? Have you guys heard anything about that new game that they just put out? I've seen some other streamers playing it. I wanted to see if you guys knew anything. That Volheim game? Have you guys seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen some people playing. I think it just came out, but it's have you seen it, Sidu?
Volheim.
Yeah, Volheim. I've seen some people playing it. It seems interesting. I will have to get more information because I was going to see if you guys knew anything about it. Yeah. So I don't have much to say. It says it's a brutal exploration and survival game for 1 to 10 players, set in a procedurally generated purgatory, inspired by Viking culture. So I don't know. It seems kind of interesting. Definitely would be interesting to learn. I mean, maybe Viking Rust or something.
Viking Rust.
I don't know.
It's kind of a survival.
Yeah.
Game. That's cool.
We did play some Raft too recently. That was pretty dope. We got that up on the tube.
I watched those videos. It seemed real fun.
Raft was cool. I had a lot of fun going out there and fishing, things like that.
Your hooks gameplay seems to be top notch. Best hooker around.
Oh yeah, Panda. I see what you're saying. Okay, so when it comes to the trader, I think they've already fixed a lot of the problems with it. I think most of the problems with podcasts, so you guys can't see the chat, but let me see what Panda says. Can we talk about the limits on trader/global or personal player limits if you have anything to talk about it? So every trader has a certain amount of items, this is still Panda saying it, that they can sell, but sometimes you, the player, can never get the items you want. You have your own personal limit per reset for a trader. And my response to that is I think they have updated a lot on that already. I know the 7 and 31's a lot more accessible than it used to be. It was way worse last wipe. You could not get a hold of that stuff, man. I don't see a reason for a global limit. I think that personally it should just be personal limits. Like if I buy 307 and 31 or whatever, just limit me. I don't see the reason why it should be limited for, like, if everybody's buying it, that I shouldn't be able to. You know? I don't know what the positive in that is. Or the purpose. So I don't see maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something that I'm not thinking about. So let me know in chat in the comments if you guys disagree or have more thoughts on that. But I don't see a reason why they should have global limits. I think it should be personal. But they're already doing better. There's more available. You can buy more of it. They've removed the limits on the only ammos that have limits are like the meta ammos. You know, it's not like the lower. The second tier ammos or anything like that usually don't have these sort of limits. So I think they're doing better already. I don't know if you guys have thoughts, but...
Yeah, I've thought about, like, I just don't know what problem they're solving in general with global limits. Like,
yes.
Yeah, for sure. Like, so, like, it's not inundated with super high-tier bullets everywhere, like, that's what everybody's using. But, I mean, if you can't buy them already, like, you get one chance to get it, they're already sold out. And it just makes it frustrating. Like, you find a gun off of a dead body that you'd like to use, finally, let me get some good ammo to go with it. And you can't. Like,
for sure.
It feels bad.
Here's what really rubs me the wrong way, alright?
What grinds your gears?
When I am over here, like, I got, like, 10 hydration, bro. My guy's thirsty, so I need to buy some water. So who do I go to? I go to therapist, because she sells water bottles, right? Why is it sold out, bro?
Yeah, why is the water? That's crazy. That's insane.
You ever remember those quests you've gone on for to go find water? Like, this is a hot commodity.
Yeah.
It's tough to hydrate before you hydrate, though, you know?
I understand the limits in terms of, like, you don't want people to be able to buy, like, unlimited amount of shit. You know, you want to make it a little harder. But global just doesn't make sense. I think we've really touched on that. I think, you know, because right now it just comes down to going in there being like, oh, damn, it's out of stock. I got to set a timer for 30 minutes, come back and stock as much as I can in the first 15 minutes of it being in stock. But like I said, it's not that bad right now. I don't think it's as bad as it was. Last wipe, that's how it was. So I don't know. I'd like to see the globals gone unless comments, chat, you guys have a better reason, you know, for it to be there. I just don't see why. So yeah, hopefully that explains some things there. Panda. And this is my last question I have for you guys. What other game other than Tarkov and Squad, things like that, like non-FPS game maybe, what other game have you guys been playing, if anything? I mean, I know you've been busy, Sequel, so maybe nothing, but maybe even like mobile game, anything.
I've been playing chess.
Ah, yes.
A lot of chess.
Michael will be very proud. Look for Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Really my checks here over there. I watch like Hikaru.
Yeah.
I love all those videos, and it's really inspired me. Like, I have my own chessboard at home. I get some buddies. Get on chess.com. Just use all my ranking points.
Dude,
every day.
Chess streaming is getting pretty big.
A few times I have streamed in my past. It's actually been mostly chess streams. I don't know what people find in me that is entertaining to watch me lose in chess, but like, people join my chat, see I'm bad, and challenge me so they can feel good about themselves or something. So I'm happy that.
So you have been streaming a little bit of chess, huh?
In the past, my last couple streams have been chess streams. So
that seems like a good way to go.
It's really easy on my computer because I'm just like.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, yeah, no. The chess streams are like, chess has been really big lately on the internet. Yeah.
I never played chess like my whole life, and then I just like started playing a little bit over here, just watching them play.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's a great game. I mean, it's a reason it's been around for so long. You know, like it's a really good game. But I definitely hear you. See, like also, it's not like Tarkov that you're trying to stream where it takes all these resources. It's literally like chess on your browser.
I should probably just start playing Squad because it combines Tarkov and chess pretty much. So.
It's basically, yeah, and I think Tarkov is a chess match of its own, but I think Squad and Tarkov are chess matches, but different ways.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess we'll have to keep our eyes peeled, chat, for Sieglum chess streams, huh?
Day one game. Everybody knows it.
Yes, they do. There's not many people that don't. Sidu, what about you?
Oh man, I played a lot of stuff, man. I recently touched on a little bit of like that Shadow of Mordor
Shadow of War
game, you know. Recently played
Orc Fights.
Yeah, Orc Fights.
We still need our video, yeah.
God damn it. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. A lot of squad. 5 minute Tarkov.
2K.
Yeah, 2K as well. A little bit of chess here and there. And
That Destiny.
Destiny.
Oh yeah. A little bit of Destiny as well. Yeah, I tried to download Destiny the other day. That game's pretty cool.
See, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Destiny 1 or 2.
2.
Sure.
Yeah. It is pretty dope. I hadn't really played much of it, but it's free to play now, so we were checking it out.
Yeah.
On stream.
It seems like a lot of my friends play it, so like,
It's lit.
I'm dragged into the culture a little bit.
It's a lot of fun. I did not really have any problems with it. I was having a good time. I mean, it's kind of like Borderlands, but with more MMO stuff. But yeah, no, for me lately, most of the same because I've been at Sidu's place up until now, so mostly been playing the same as him. I played a little bit of Red Dead 2 on stream the other day, and that was fun.
Yeah, some Vaporwave Cowboy.
Oh, yeah, I did do a little bit of Vaporwave Cowboy around. I also have been playing Oblivion lately, too. I modded some things. It took me like a full day, like honestly, to get the mods in a place where it wouldn't crash the game. And so now, yeah. And I got it to a fun point. I've been having a good time. Obviously, that's a 2005 Elder Scrolls Oblivion old game. But I haven't played it in a long, long time. So I was just like playing it for the story, reading some of the books. I would just do it when I was tired of like playing, the normal games that I play and just wanted something that was more like a movie style, like just kind of story and reading and RPG stuff. So yeah, definitely been having fun with that. But I saw that does it for me, guys. I think that's all the questions that I have for this episode 2. Got to cover a lot of topics today, and plenty more we're going to retouch on in episode 3. Let us know in the comments what extra comments you have to everything that we discussed. Add on to it. Let us know what else you want to see us talk about. Get in the Discord. It's a really easy way to talk to any of us. We're all in there. So you can just let us know your thoughts. Come play with us. We're gaming. We're gamers. But also, Sieglum, y'all got anything else you want to touch on, talk about before we call it here?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I think we covered a lot.
This is where I'd plug my sponsor if I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up.
Yeah. Well, Sieglum is slowly ingratiating himself into the Calzax family here, so you'll be seeing more of him.
Sure, y'all leave some cents around. Y'all donate some bits or something, man. We're trying to get a desk in this thing.
Yes, Sidu's working on a desk. That's his plug. He's sitting on the floor right now. He's trying to get a desk up in here. Yeah.
Just
so
the donation list is a actual toilet buckets,
Yeah. The hole in the floor is not enough for you, Sidu, huh?
Hide up out of it.
Yeah.
And it's not the upgraded one. It's the one with all the shrapnel or the stuff on the ground. Yeah. That's what you use a pillow.
Yeah, laboratory upgrade.
Yeah.
Part of that.
That's funny. If you guys are on YouTube watching this type of the fact, thank you so much for spending your time. Like, subscription, follow, all those things help so much. We'd really appreciate it if you guys don't mind helping us out, supporting the channel, helping these podcasts go around. Send them to your buddies. Hopefully y'all had a good time chiming in, tuning in. No matter where you're listening, whether it's watching on YouTube, on stream, if you're watching this on your radio, put it on, not watching the video at all. Thanks for spending the time with us. We will be back with episode 3 here shortly. Hopefully less of a delay than there was between episode 1 and episode 2. And yeah, we got lots of things to talk about. It's gonna be a very interesting couple of days to weeks here moving forward with Tarkov. See what they update, see what they change, and yeah, man, looking forward to 12.10 whenever it comes, or 13.0, I guess.